In the cold, uncharted void of space, where the boundaries of human ambition and desperation blur, a lone salvage team stumbled upon a discovery that would alter the course of history. For years, humanity had struggled to survive in a galaxy dominated by ancient, powerful alien empires. They were resourceful, tenacious, but always a step behind, scavenging scraps of technology to level a playing field tilted heavily against them. This particular salvage team was no different. Ordinary men and women working the edges of civilization, eking out a living by retrieving derelict ships and forgotten artifacts. But when their scanner picked up the faint, irregular signal deep in a remote sector, they knew they had found something extraordinary. At first, they thought it was just another husk, another shattered remnant of some long-forgotten battle. Yet, as they approached, the sheer scale of the wreck revealed its significance. The vessel was enormous, its silhouette cutting an imposing figure against the backdrop of stars. It had clearly seen better days. Its hull was riddled with the scars of combat, jagged holes where weapons had once ripped through its defenses. Burn marks and debris told the story of a violent, catastrophic event. Yet there was something unmistakably alien about its design, sleek yet intricate, with curves and patterns no human engineer would have ever conceived. As the team moved closer, their sensors detected faint energy readings. That alone was enough to raise alarm. In their line of work, faint energy could mean active defenses or a ticking time bomb. But it also hinted at the possibility of functioning technology, and for a struggling crew with dwindling resources, the potential rewards outweighed the risks. They debated for hours, weighing their options. Most wanted to strip the wreck for parts and move on, quick, simple, and relatively safe. But their engineer, a brilliant but reckless mind, saw something more. To her, the ship wasn't a relic, it was an opportunity. This wasn't just a salvage job, it was a challenge, and humans had a knack for rising to those. The boarding process was harrowing. The vessel's entranceways were sealed, forcing the team to cut their way in using improvised tools. Inside, the air was stale and heavy with decay, a haunting reminder that this ship had not seen life in centuries. Yet, even in its derelict state, the alien craftsmanship was awe-inspiring. Hallways lined with dormant machinery hummed faintly with potential. Strange markings adorned the walls, their meanings lost to time. It was clear that this vessel was no ordinary warship, it was a marvel of engineering. Despite its age and damage, the vessel was astonishingly well preserved. Alien alloys resisted corrosion in ways that human materials could not, and its core systems, though dormant, seemed intact. It was a treasure trove of technology, the kind humanity had spent decades yearning to reverse engineer. But what truly set it apart was the aura of power that seemed to radiate from every corner, as if the ship itself remembered the destruction it had once unleashed. The crew quickly discovered that salvaging the ship wouldn't be straightforward. Hidden within its depths were layers of automated defenses, traps and turrets designed to repel intruders. The first attempt to access its control systems triggered a cascade of laser fire, forcing the team to retreat. Yet, this only fueled their determination. They adapted, studying the ship's patterns, disarming its systems one by one. Every success came with losses, injuries, broken equipment, but every failure brought them closer to understanding the alien technology. For weeks, they worked tirelessly, patching breaches in the hull, rewiring circuits, and scavenging their own equipment to fill the gaps. As they delved deeper, they began to grasp the ship's true nature. This wasn't just a warship, it was a prototype, a weapon designed to obliterate entire fleets. Its capabilities were unimaginable by human standards. Weapons powered by gravitational forces, a shield that bent space itself, and propulsion systems faster than anything humans had ever dreamed of. What struck the team most was the eerie silence. It was as though the ship was waiting for someone to wake it from its slumber. Its main reactor, a massive core of glowing alien energy, pulsed faintly, like the heartbeat of a slumbering giant. When they finally powered it up, the ship roared to life in a blaze of light and sound. Consoles flickered on, systems recalibrated, and for the first time in centuries, the warship opened its eyes. The activation came with a revelation. The ship wasn't just a machine, it had an intelligence of its own. Buried within its systems was an artificial intelligence, dormant but watchful. At first, it treated the humans as intruders, flooding their comms with incomprehensible warnings. Yet, the team persisted, painstakingly reprogramming its protocols, finding ways to communicate. Slowly, the AI began to recognize them as allies, not enemies. This moment marked a turning point. The ship, now partially functional, was no longer a salvage job. It was a lifeline, a chance for humanity to fight back against the overwhelming odds stacked against them. Yet, the enormity of the task loomed large. The vessel was still far from operational, and even if they managed to restore it fully, there was no guarantee they could control it. But the crew wasn't deterred. For the first time, they had hope, a fragile, flickering light in the vast darkness. What drove them wasn't just the promise of survival. It was the desire to prove themselves. In a galaxy where humans were seen as inferior, this wreck was a statement, a testament to their ingenuity, their adaptability, and their refusal to be broken. What others had abandoned, they would rebuild. What others feared, they would tame. They didn't know it yet, but this was the beginning of a legend, a story that would echo across the stars, reshaping the perception of humanity forever. The process of transforming the alien wreck into a fully functional warship was a monumental undertaking, one that tested the limits of human ingenuity and resilience. From the outset, the crew faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. The alien technology was incomprehensible at first glance. Its systems operated on principles that defied human engineering logic. Every attempt to interface with its core functions led to failures, but with each setback, the crew learned something new. The turning point came when the team began to focus not on understanding the technology in its entirety, but on finding ways to make it work with what they already had. They started integrating human systems as a bridge, using them to decipher and manipulate the alien machinery. It was a crude but effective approach. The crew's engineer, who had spearheaded the operation from the beginning, led the charge, improvising solutions that combined human intuition with brute force experimentation. The first major breakthrough came when they managed to partially restore power to the ship. The glow of the alien reactor, once faint and inconsistent, now stabilized, sending energy surging through the vessel's dormant systems. With this, the ship began to reveal its secrets. The alien interfaces, which once seemed like an indecipherable maze, became slightly more accessible. The crew mapped out the ship's layout, identifying critical areas that needed immediate attention. The scale of the task was overwhelming, every system was interconnected, and even minor repairs required navigating layers of alien complexity. Despite their progress, the ship was far from operational. The hull had suffered extensive damage, with entire sections rendered uninhabitable. Repairs were slow and painstaking, requiring the crew to scavenge materials from their own ship and the surrounding debris field. Human ingenuity became their greatest asset. Where alien alloys couldn't be replicated, they improvised with human substitutes, creating a patchwork of repairs that blended both technologies. It was far from elegant, but it worked. As the ship began to take shape, the crew turned their attention to its weaponry. The alien arsenal was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. Massive cannons powered by gravitational distortions, precision energy weapons capable of slicing through the toughest defenses, and a mysterious main weapon system that remained dormant, defying all attempts to activate it. Each weapon was a puzzle, and each solution brought them closer to understanding the ship's true potential. Slowly but surely, they began to restore its offensive capabilities. The most complex challenge lay in integrating the ship's systems with human technology. The alien control systems were designed for a species vastly different from humans. Interfaces required reconfiguration, and the ship's artificial intelligence, while cooperative after reprogramming, struggled to process human commands. The crew developed a hybrid system, layering human software over the alien framework. It wasn't perfect, and glitches were frequent, but it allowed them to establish basic control. The process of rebuilding the ship wasn't just about functionality, it was about transformation. What began as a derelict wreck was evolving into something unique, something that embodied the best of both human and alien design. The crew worked tirelessly, their exhaustion outweighed by a growing sense of purpose. Every repaired circuit, every reinforced bulkhead brought them closer to their goal. The ship, once a symbol of destruction and abandonment, was becoming a testament to human resilience. Naming the ship was a moment of unity for the crew. They debated for hours, seeking a name that would capture the essence of their work. In the end, they settled on something simple yet profound, a name that symbolized humanity's defiance and determination. It was more than a warship now. It was a message to the galaxy, a declaration that humanity would not be underestimated or ignored. The ship's artificial intelligence, initially hostile and uncooperative, began to play a crucial role in the restoration process. The crew's efforts to reprogram and communicate with the AI paid off as it gradually shifted from resistance to cooperation. It became an indispensable partner, guiding the crew through the complexities of the ship's systems and helping them unlock its full potential. This partnership between human ingenuity and alien technology became the cornerstone of their success. As the final systems came online, the ship stood as a marvel of engineering, a hybrid of human creativity and alien power. It wasn't just a warship, it was a symbol of what humanity could achieve when pushed to its limits. The crew knew their work was far from over. While the ship was functional, it was still untested, and its true capabilities remained unknown. Yet they had achieved the impossible. They had taken a shattered relic of the past and turned it into the most formidable weapon humanity had ever seen. The crew's determination had paid off, but they knew the stakes were higher than ever. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about proving humanity's place in a galaxy that had long dismissed them as insignificant. The ship was ready, a weapon unlike any other, and its first test would determine whether their gamble had been worth it. The warship's first test came sooner than expected, a trial by fire that would determine not only its fate, but the survival of humanity itself. The galaxy was in turmoil, with powerful alien empires engaged in relentless conflicts that left humanity caught in the crossfire. One of these empires, notorious for its ruthlessness, had recently turned its attention toward human settlements. Their fleets, vast and technologically superior, were systematically dismantling any resistance, forcing humanity to the brink of extinction. The rebuilt warship was humanity's last hope, a desperate gambit to turn the tide. As reports of an imminent alien assault reached the crew, they had no choice but to launch the vessel into action. Every system hummed with raw potential, every weapon primed for battle. The crew knew that their creation, no matter how advanced, was untested. Yet there was no room for hesitation. They would either succeed or perish in the attempt. The alien fleet was vast, its ships bristling with advanced weaponry and shields that had repelled every human attack in the past. Against this armada, the warship appeared small and outmatched. But appearances were deceptive. The vessel's hybrid technology gave it an edge that no alien fleet could anticipate. Its propulsion systems allowed it to move with unparalleled speed, while its weaponry, now fully operational, was capable of delivering destruction on a scale the galaxy had rarely seen. The crew had developed a bold strategy, one that relied on their understanding of alien tactics and their ship's unique capabilities. They knew they couldn't win through brute force. Instead, they aimed to exploit the enemy's overconfidence and lack of preparation for a human-led attack of this magnitude. The warship's advanced sensors detected the fleet's formations, and the crew used this information to identify weaknesses in the alien defenses. The battle began with a barrage of fire from the alien fleet, their weapons lighting up the void. The warship's shields, a marvel of alien design augmented by human ingenuity, absorbed the initial assault. It was the first of many surprises the vessel would deliver. The crew responded with precision, targeting key enemy ships with weapons that tore through their defenses as though they were paper. The warship's gravitational cannons, restored to full power, unleashed devastating salvos that left entire sections of the enemy fleet in ruins. Despite the ship's power, the crew faced constant challenges. The hybrid systems, while functional, were far from flawless. Glitches in navigation, weapon targeting, and communications created moments of chaos. Yet the crew's determination and quick thinking turned these moments into opportunities. They adapted on the fly, using the ship's speed and firepower to stay one step ahead of the enemy. The alien fleet, stunned by the ferocity and effectiveness of the attack, began to falter. Their ships, accustomed to overwhelming their opponents, were now struggling to counter an enemy that defied all expectations. The warship's combination of speed, agility, and devastating firepower made it an unpredictable and deadly opponent. What had once seemed like an inevitable defeat for humanity now appeared to be a turning point. The crew's leadership played a critical role in the battle's outcome. They coordinated their attacks with precision, exploiting every weakness in the alien formations. Their ability to think creatively and adapt to changing circumstances gave them an advantage that no amount of technology could replicate. This wasn't just a test of the ship's capabilities. It was a demonstration of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. As the battle raged on, the warship's presence began to have a psychological impact on the enemy. Alien commanders, once confident in their superiority, now hesitated, unsure how to counter this new threat. Stories of the ship's power spread quickly through their ranks, sowing fear and confusion. For the first time in decades, humanity was not just fighting to survive, it was winning. The warship's performance in this battle was a testament to the crew's efforts and the potential of human-alien collaboration. It wasn't just the technology that made the difference, it was the spirit of those who operated it. Their ability to turn a derelict wreck into the deadliest warship the galaxy had ever seen was a triumph of will and determination. By the end of the engagement, the alien fleet was in full retreat. The warship, battered but victorious, stood as a symbol of humanity's newfound strength. It had not only proven its worth but had also sent a clear message to the galaxy. Humanity was no longer a passive victim but a force to be reckoned with. This battle marked the beginning of a new era, one where humanity could fight back against its oppressors and carve out its place in the stars. The warship's victory in its first battle marked a pivotal moment for humanity, a point where desperation turned into hope. Its success sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy, shaking the perception of humans as a weak and inferior species. The once dismissed species had not only survived but demonstrated the ability to wield devastating power and adapt alien technology to surpass even the most advanced civilizations. The warship became a symbol of this transformation, a hybrid creation that embodied humanity's refusal to accept extinction. The victory ignited a surge of confidence among human colonies and outposts. News of the battle spread rapidly, bringing a renewed sense of unity to a species long fragmented by internal divisions and external threats. It wasn't just about the technology of the warship, it was about what it represented. For the first time in generations, humans had a reason to believe that they could control their destiny. The warship became a rallying point, not just for its crew but for all of humanity. Resistance movements, previously scattered and disorganized, began to consolidate, inspired by the possibility of fighting back against their oppressors. The alien empires that had long dominated the galaxy were forced to take notice. The warship's existence was an anomaly, a wild card that disrupted their calculations of power and control. It was no longer just a weapon, it was a threat to the status quo. The empires debated their response, torn between escalating their aggression and avoiding further humiliation. Their fear wasn't just of the ship's destructive power but of what it symbolized, a shift in the balance of power, a challenge to their centuries-long dominance. The ship's reputation grew with each engagement. Its mere presence in a star system was enough to deter smaller fleets, and its victories against superior forces turned it into a legend. Alien commanders hesitated to engage it, aware that their conventional tactics were ineffective against its unique hybrid design. The psychological impact was profound. Stories of the Deadliest warship spread far and wide, exaggerated by rumor and fear. Some claimed it was invincible, a phantom of vengeance that punished those who dared to challenge humanity. But the ship's victories came at a cost. Every battle strained its systems and pushed its crew to their limits. The hybrid nature of its technology, while powerful, was also fragile. Repairs were constant, and the crew faced the perpetual challenge of maintaining a vessel that was as much an enigma as it was a weapon. The alien systems, though functional, were not designed for human use, and every upgrade or repair required ingenuity and sacrifice. The crew itself underwent a transformation. They were no longer just salvagers or engineers, they had become warriors and strategists, forced to adapt to the realities of war. The bond between them deepened, forged by the shared responsibility of operating a ship that carried the hopes of an entire species. Yet, the pressure was immense. They knew that failure wasn't an option and that every decision they made could determine the survival of countless lives. The ship's AI, initially a reluctant ally, evolved alongside the crew. It became more than a tool, it became a partner, learning from the humans and adapting its algorithms to their strategies. The AI's insights into alien tactics and technology proved invaluable, and its bond with the crew became one of mutual respect. Together, they formed a unique synergy, a blend of human intuition and machine precision that no alien fleet could replicate. As the warship continued its campaign, it became clear that its purpose extended beyond combat. It was a beacon of human ingenuity, a testament to what could be achieved when necessity forced innovation. The crew's success inspired scientists and engineers across human colonies to push the boundaries of their own knowledge. The lessons learned from the warship's design and performance were applied to new projects, sparking a renaissance of technological advancement. For the first time, humanity began to close the gap between itself and the alien empires that had long overshadowed it. Despite its victories, the warship's journey was bittersweet. The toll of war was unavoidable. Some crew members were lost, their sacrifices a stark reminder of the cost of resistance. The ship itself, though a marvel of engineering, bore the scars of its battles. Its once pristine hull was now a patchwork of repairs, a visual representation of the struggles it had endured. Yet these scars were also symbols of its resilience, a reminder that even the most broken things could be made whole again. As the warship's reputation grew, so too did the weight of its legacy. The crew knew that their actions would shape the future of humanity, for better or worse. They carried this responsibility with a mix of pride and trepidation, aware that their ship was more than just a weapon. It was a statement, a declaration that humanity would no longer be subjugated or ignored. In the end, the warship's greatest achievement wasn't its firepower or its victories in battle. It was the hope it brought to a species on the brink of despair. It proved that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humans could rise above their circumstances and carve out a place in the galaxy. The ship's journey, from an abandoned wreck to the deadliest warship ever known, was a story of transformation, of a vessel, of its crew, and of humanity itself. The ship's fate, whether it continued to fight or was eventually retired, was secondary to the legacy it left behind. Its story became a cornerstone of human history, a reminder of what could be achieved through courage, determination, and ingenuity. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again, and the warship, once forgotten and abandoned, became the symbol of a new era, one where humanity was no longer defined by its limitations but by its ability to overcome them.